We never fought, never a single bad memory. Then she started becoming too close to a male friend, to the point that I wanted to hurt this dude. We would fight over this friend. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled, I Forced My Ex-Girlfriend into Homelessness for Cheating on Me. And guys, this is definitely an epic revenge story. This story of how this guy deals with his cheating girlfriend, who was his girlfriend for a long time. He was really good to her, took care of her when she lost her job, when COVID was in its peak and people were able to go to work, all that. Well, you're going to see here she starts abusing substances and starts cheating on him. And this guy, he goes full on Cobra Kai. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. And as you can imagine, afterwards, and seeing the impact of this, because she ends up on the streets, where she belongs, in my opinion, he's starting to feel bad about it. Starting to wonder he went too far. And so I'm going to go through the story here, guys, and at the end I'll let you know what I think if he went too far, and I'll certainly wonder what you guys think. But let me tell you, this is a perfect example. And also, guys, by the way, you're going to notice in this story how he really rushed into things with her. He was obviously mesmerized by her looks, her body, and he went too fast. And when guys do that, they don't get to know somebody's real character. So as I say on the other channel, you take your time before you ever consider getting serious with a gal, let alone moving in with her. So it starts off, he says here, I don't know how to feel anymore about, I don't know how I feel anymore about all that. We've been broken up for 3 months now. I met my ex when she worked at a local restaurant that I frequent. I was smitten from the second I saw her. She seemed the same. I asked her on a date. I guess I'm old-fashioned, and since the first date, we were basically head over heels. We moved rather fast, and she moved in 6 months after we met. Smack. 6 months after you met? You don't even know this girl. She could put up the biggest act in the world. And you're going to see her in a moment. Guess who you think was paying for all the bills? And smitten in the first moment they met. Come on. I mean, this is not movies and TV. Now, I don't know how old this guy is, but seriously. He says here, we never fought, never a single bad memory. Then she started becoming too close to a male friend, to the point I wanted to hurt this dude. We would fight over this friend. He's the kind of person the world would be a better place without. And he says in parentheses, he's a junkie, doesn't care about his kids, doesn't take care of his kids, unemployed, typical piece of crap. In other words, Chatter Tyrone bad boy. So of course she's drawn to him. I found out that she slept with him after she started using drugs. She had no idea that I knew this, so I slowly began plotting what to do next. In my state, you have to give someone a 30-day notice before you can have them kicked out. I couldn't stand the idea of being around him for 30 days. We had a mutual friend that happened to be a girl, and I offered her a rather generous amount of money to take my girlfriend's keys to my apartment when she stayed the night over there. She wasn't on the lease, but her job had shut down due to COVID, so I was the sole provider for about a year and a half. I learned that if she has no key and I give her access to the property, that I couldn't really get into trouble, nor would she have any rights to enter my property. He says I was the sole leaseholder, and all the bills are in my name, and she was unemployed for about half the relationship. So this guy, not only did he rush with her and move in with her, but he was paying for everything. But, fortunately, her name wasn't on anything. So, clever, he gets a mutual friend, a girl, who sold her out to take her keys. So no key to the apartment, no name on her lease, nothing. My opinion, hey, she brought this on herself. And by the way, the whole, she started using drugs things, that would be the time to kick her ass out. Because nothing good comes from substance abuse. And I'm sure many of you guys are aware of this, both in your own personal experiences or in plenty of stories you've heard. Anyway, long story short, I shut off her phone, put all her stuff on my patio storage unit, and went and retrieved my keys as well as the vehicle that I was letting her use. Good Lord, so he was letting her use a vehicle as well? She must have been a darn good-looking girl, must have been freaky in the sheets. I left her with nothing. I was so angry, I truly wanted to see her suffer the way that I did. He says, well, my family now hates my guts. Can't blame them. My friends say I'm a sociopath. Her family's strung out on drugs and live out in motels so they can't help her. He got in a relationship with her and had her move in knowing full well her family are drug users and don't even have a real home and live in motels and everything. What I tell you guys about getting to know a girl and her family before you get serious with her. Perfect example. But let me guess. She's hot. So you let all that stuff slide because obviously of the P word. The straw that broke the camel's back is when my mom and dad saw her holding a sign near a seedy motel asking for money. She clearly has become strung out on drugs and is sleeping on the streets. I wish I could feel nothing about this, but it's eating at my conscience every day. I can't get the idea out of my head that I could sink to such low levels and destroy the life of someone I was with for 2 years. I couldn't fix it now if I wanted to. I constantly worry about her, and even though she hurt me, I still love her. Smack. I wish I could have done things differently, helped her become more self-sufficient. I want to help her, but I feel like if I help someone who effed me over, I'm less than a man. Hopefully I can get this over sooner than later. So, that's the end of his little post here, and I'm going to get to the comments in a second. But let me just say this. She brought this on herself. This is a good guy, too good of a guy, too nice of a guy. She took full advantage of him. For a year and a half, they were living together. He was paying all the bills, her phone bill, let her use his car. And how does she reward him? She starts using drugs, hanging out with a total scumbag, cheating on him with a scumbag. So, screw her. In my opinion, the hell with her. I wouldn't feel bad. Now I'm a heartless bastard when it comes to certain things. You cross me, and I'm done. But too bad. And his family's giving him a hard time. His family should be happy that he's not with this drug addict girl who cheated on him with a lowlife, who has a lousy family. Unless his family are a bunch of lowlifes too. Who knows? But no. This guy's instant reaction, in my opinion, was the right one. And if she was obviously capable of holding down a job before, so she can find another way. And if she's on drugs, that's on her. I'm about accountability. Okay? And if you're a grown-ass adult and you make mistakes and you do things, you have to be responsible for your actions. Everybody wants a pass nowadays. Everybody has some kind of excuse for doing this, doing that, and nobody's held accountable. Tough shit. So in my opinion, I got no problem with this guy did. But again, I can be a heartless bastard. Now, the fun part, some comments. One guy says, "You did the right thing. I had an ex I was with for 2 years who I found out was cheating for more than half of that time. I'd already been out there. This guy wrote this badly. I had already been there through her drug addictions and homelessness and joblessness. She was basically back on her feet when I kicked her out. You were not responsible for the choices she made." Exactly. And again, another moron with some chick that's on drugs and all that. She can get back on her feet. And if she's a good-looking girl, I'm sure she can find some other dude to shack up with. But no, she's not. Why is she with that Chatter Tyrone that she was cheating on this guy with? Probably because when she needed him, he was like, "See ya." Because that's how Chad and Tyrone roll. Now the guy says, "Don't worry about her. Women like her cruise through life taking advantage of people for a free ride, and now you feel bad for putting her in her place. Sink or swim, baby." Exactly. She's a user. Not just a user in terms of substances, but she uses people. And that's what drug addicts do. Okay? And the old saying, how do you know a junkie is lying? Their lips are moving. So she's going to eventually find some other sucker, take advantage of him. But I got to tell you, if she's using drugs, it's going to definitely have an impact on her looks real quick. Now the guy says, you might start feeling bad about what you've done, but you really shouldn't. Clearly she didn't think twice to get with that dude, so why should you? You shouldn't have felt bad if she also owned the property, but she didn't. She was fully dependent on you, and that's the last thing anyone should do in a relationship. Also, some people who said they kind of disagree that you didn't give her at least a week's notice, I would have mentally effed you up having to wait those several days until they're gone. Yeah, if he was had her wait around, she'd probably change his mind. Because again, look how quickly this guy raced into relationships. This is an example. Well, I tell you guys, you don't race into relationships. You really get to know a girl for a long time and see what she's like. And believe me, if he thoroughly got to know her the way I recommend guys do sometimes in this channel, but all the time on my other channel, believe me, he wouldn't have been in this mess. And believe me, he wouldn't have moved in with her. Because the only reason, in my opinion, you move in with a woman is after you've been with her for years, and I mean years, and have gotten to know her, what she's like, how she is with communication, how she is with money, what her family's like, and then only if you choose to marry her. Because why else? What the hell's the point? Seriously. And even then, you know my opinion about marriage in today's world. You know, it is what it is. But anyhow, no, I wouldn't feel bad. Another guy says, eye for an eye. Cheating is shit and some people can't stand it. So expecting him to keep feeding you is wrong. She didn't want to help herself. You weren't her husband. You aren't responsible. Nice revenge, OP. Amen. And like I said, just like for you Cobra Kai fans, strike first, strike hard, no mercy. And there are moments in life to be merciful, and this ain't it. She got what she deserved, and she can be somebody else's problem. This guy needs to move on and not make the same mistakes twice. So, all right, guys, that was it for today. It's a quick one, but I thought you'd find this pretty entertaining. Don't make the same mistakes this guy does. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me hear it, guys. Do you think he went too far or not? I'd like to hear about it. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.